Hey guys, it's Tiffany. I'm here to give you guys a word, something that God gave me today and truly has freed me from something that I've carried for a very long time. And I hope that maybe if you find yourself in this same predicament, that you can find that freedom in this truth. When you feel that you have a calling from God, it consumes everything that you do. It's your purpose, it's your very being, it's the center of every choice that you make. And when your calling is, as I would say, unconventional, it's really hard to approach and know how to handle yourself in every circumstance. Because if you felt called to be a pastor, there are a million examples out there. There are millions of people who could say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I regret, this is what I would have changed. But if you're called to a ministry that's unconventional, there are not that many people that can help you along the way. You're going down a path that not many have taken. And this is also for those who might feel called to a conventional ministry, but in an unconventional way. I have shared this before, but I've done social media ministries, as I call it, for 10 plus years. And I can't tell you how many times I have been misunderstood. I'm passionate about unconventional callings because I have seen God do things in places that not many people have gone. I've kept it very under wraps, the persecution I've experienced online and offline because of online, because I never wanted to put the church in a bad light. And if you know me, or if you're spiritually in tune, you probably have noticed that the past couple months, I have been very affected by some of these things. This was evident with my attempt on my video I posted earlier, Love One Another Online. I've had parody pages made, hate pages made, memes made, posts and tags, people literally just thinking that they can make fun of me because the number of followers I have. It's been hard because when you get hate, right, we can accept it when it's from a source that is expected. But what's hard is when it comes from a source that we expect support and love. God spoke to me so deeply today about this. And I really want those who do feel called to a ministry that is outside of the norm to understand that it's going to be okay. And this is what God spoke to me. I was watching a video online. Of course, there goes my plug on how online ministries can happen and help people and touch people in places that we could never physically go. But this video came from Campus Ministry International, and it was a clip of Brother Cornwell preaching. I love campus ministry. I've been involved in it all throughout my college years, and I'm very passionate. And I realized that the reason why campus ministry is so special is because you are literally saturated with the polar opposite of our church culture. Campus ministry shows you that sometimes we get so lost in our bubble that we forget how to relate to people on a natural, real level. So in this sermon, Brother Cornwell said, we are not to be isolated, we're supposed to be insulated. He said we have to stop being afraid of unsaved people. He tells the story of how he would teach Bible studies at his home and people would get drunk in the Bible study because they were alcoholics, or they would smoke so much he could barely breathe. He said people would question his methods and say, I don't know if I could do a Bible study like that. And his response is what changed me. He said, and how many souls have you won for the Lord? And then it hit me. All the people that have criticized me online, I started realizing when I would look at their profiles or would look what they were doing, how many of them were actually reaching other people for Christ. Because the truth is, when you're in the trenches, working and reaching souls for Christ, you don't have time to question or make fun of or judge other people's ministry approaches. I've got a lot of criticism from people who don't understand that you can have a career and a ministry in one thing. If you don't believe in apostolic influencers, you can't believe in apostolic doctors, lawyers, teachers. Those are all avenues that God uses us through. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I have been crippled by what other people in my apostolic Pentecostal family believe. I've felt like I've had to defend myself for years That every post and everything I do, I have to watch because somebody might misunderstand it, misinterpret my intentions, and totally miss the point of what I feel called to do. It's suffocating. It's exhausting. And I know we have all faced persecution, but it's the hardest, and it's been hard for me to accept that the biggest persecution and the hardest hurt you will experience is from within. This is so hard for me because I believe in the Christian church. I believe in the apostolic church, and I want us to support one another. I want us to get behind one another. I want us to feel safe among one another. I don't want us to walk in a room and wonder if everybody in that room had been talking about us. I do call out spirits like this. I do call out fleshly acts like this, but I'm learning to accept, and God is helping freeing me from that. We're not going to change everybody, including those within our church body. Man, that's so hard. Not everyone will get me. Not everybody will understand me. And the biggest hurt and persecution I have faced and will continue to face will be within. Because when Brother Cornwell said, "How many people have you won to the Lord?" it made me realize something that I have struggled with understanding the body of Christ. Not everybody will operate in the same spirit and in the same mindset just because they're in the same church. I can share this now because it's been a good amount of years, or it's been some time of separation, that it's the ministry leaders, it's the fellow ministers that have misunderstood me, that have hurt me the most, because I'm thinking, hey, we're on the same team. Let's work this together. See, it was Pilate that didn't want to kill Jesus, but his own people that wanted him on the cross. His own people. And we think in 2020 that we will have evolved as human beings and that we don't hurt our own anymore. No, they did it to Jesus. They're going to do it to us. It's the letting go and letting God and forgiving without an apology that we have to learn to do. It's not letting the criticism of our own cripple us from answering the call. I'm literally having to pause in between these clips because I'm speaking in tongues. I know who I am, and I know who God has called me to be. And I'm sorry if you can't understand that, but I'm not doing it for anybody else but Him. And I promise you, if you feel this same rejection, you have these big dreams and nobody else gets it. Think of Joseph. I can't tell you the stories of people, especially when I was in Bible school, that have come to me and apologized for assuming the worst. I've made my own apologies too. But when you have an unconventional calling, not everybody's gonna get it. Not everybody's gonna understand. But God knows. And we have to accept that not everybody is gonna answer the call to reach others. This is the thing that God spoke to me today, and it broke me free after I listened to that sermon, after I thought of the people who have persecuted me, and I examined their lives of outreach and ministry. God said, those people aren't evil that don't understand your calling, and they're not necessarily wrong, but some people will go to heaven and some people will go to heaven alone.